Hello everyone, and welcome back to another The Most Forbidden Love in the World video. As you can see, today I'm doing something a little new, something I've never done before, which is record right after the previous video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I really do want to see what happens during this Valentine's date. So without further ado, let's continue on with Osamu. Okay. Alright. When did it suddenly... It seemed like the world underwent a complete change during the period of time we spent shopping at the mall and helping ourselves to some delicious high-quality sushi. The snow falling on East Hagimori refused to abate even for a second, covering the entire town in white. The buses and taxis in front of the station disappeared, with only a few stranded cars still passing through the road. The people left behind were either hurrying inside the station with worried expressions or trying to cross the massive mountain of snow to make it home on foot. I wonder if I'll be able to make it to work tomorrow. Once you're an adult integrated into society, traffic problems caused by snowfall are hardly something you can turn a blind eye to. One's love for those dazzling crystals of white wanes very quickly when you end up having to take 3 hours to get to work as a result. Yeah. As such, I couldn't help seeing this girl, still innocently fascinated by the phenomenon as a child. Oh my. I doubt it can all melt overnight. Want to build a snowman together before I leave for work tomorrow? At 5? I don't think he can wake up that early. I won't. Was it right for me to feel that way? Was it something that should have made me happy or sad? It was about time. I cleared things up. I had to tell Toko how I felt. I had to tell her about my decision. Toko? What? All that determination I tried so hard to muster was swept away by the terrible timing of her interruption. For what? Eh? 10 minutes? Of course. I mean, I've got no other plans besides going with you. Toko energetically brushed the snow off with her glove right hand, making enough space for one person to sit down. As I sat down, she placed her basket on my knees. What's this? I'm sorry, I still lack confidence in myself. All just for you, Osamu. It seemed like my wishy-washy attitude made her give up on trying to make this a surprise. Instead, she launched into a detailed explanation of what was inside the basket. Yeah, she's being really forward about that. Toko. She probably anticipated that I would be making my decision today. As a result, this was her final reiteration of the claim. I'm sorry for all the excuses I made so far. I promised to make my decision on the day of your exam, but I ended up delaying it for a month. I'm sorry. I abandoned you in that state. I failed you as a guardian, and a man, and even as a person. Toko. Perhaps intimidated by how I was getting closer to the point, Toko interrupted me again. Okay. Thank you, Toko. I undid the metallic fittings of the basket and removed its lids. Inside, there was a chocolate cake around the size of a hand, wrapped tightly in cooking paper. I slowly unfolded the paper and took the black coated cake out of the basket. Eh? On top of it, there was a message written in white chocolate.
私、先生のこと
Okay. That's one way to say it, Mirako.
だって同志だから。私と同じだけ、おさむくんのことが大好きだから。
Mm-hmm.
でもおさむくんはずっと前から先生が好きで、先生に捨てられたのに、先生もおさむくんが好きで、おさむくんを捨てたくせにめちゃくちゃおさむくんが好きでさ。そんな二人がずっと近くにいて、それでも一緒にいないってものすごく迷惑なんだよね。すぐそばで見つめ合って辛そうにされたって、私としては困るだけなんだよね。だって私、先生の同志だもん。おさむくん大好きなんだもん。おさむくんが悩むところなんてだからね。だから二人に子供がいないことがおさむくんを不幸にしたのなら、
Huh?
私
Goodbye?
が娘になる。
You'll be his daughter?
おさむくんと先生の
Oh my.
娘になるから。
no,
だからさよならおさむくん。
no,
そしてこれからも
no, you can't do that, Mirako. No, I'm
お父
sorry.
さん。
Unfortunately, you cannot do that, Mirako. You already made out with Osamu. Like, I don't even know how many times y'all made out, but y'all are far past the point of becoming father and daughter anymore. Yeah, no, it's not possible. Oh man. And Asami's laughing right there. She knows what she's
私が
doing.
娘になる。おさむくんと先生の二人の娘になるから。だからさよならおさむくん。
Wait, isn't she just repeating what she just
こ
said
れ
like
からも
20 seconds ago?
ずっとよろしくね。
Huh?
お父さん。
What? Opening last chapter. The last chapter.
世界
What
で
the?
一番ダメな恋。
The most forbidden love in the world. How much more can this love go? Holy, I was not prepared for the last chapter. Okay, well I guess we're in in the end game now. So all right, well that's good. Toko.
今のおさむくんはさ、もう先生と別れた時のかけたおさむくんなんかじゃないんだよ。
Toko was crying. The 14th of February, a day of happiness and joy. The first Thursday in a very long while when I skipped work. It delayed a celebration of Toko's passing her exams. The Valentine's Day on which Toko's handmade chocolate cake struck and melted my heart like hydraulic acid. And yet she was crying.
きっかけは情けないことだったかもしれない。ただ、ママに頼りたかっただけなのかもしれない。
I lost my love, my job, my hopes. But just when I thought that I lost everything, Miss Honoka appeared before my eyes and I fell in love again for the first time in a long while.
それでもおさむくんは私の前に現れた。自分の不幸を忘れて勝手に私に同情しちゃって、いつの間にかアパートに住み着いて。
Yet it turned out I was the only one who felt that way. I had my heart shattered all over again and plunged back into despair. And before my eyes stood a girl possessing a heart entirely different from Miss Honoka's. Rather than gently embracing you, Toko's brand of kindness hit you in the face and set you straight.
私を育てるんだって、社会に出るまでずっと守るんだって、こっちを置いてきぼりで勝手に一人で盛り上がっちゃって。
At first, I was completely outmatched by this girl so far below my age. Despite being the adult, I was the one causing trouble for her. At times, I made her angry. At others, I got her on her nerves. But she never abandoned me, nor did she hesitate to reprimand me for my faults. She consoled me when I needed it the most.
私、最初は全然信用してなくってさ。やっぱり最初は失敗ばかりの人生でさ。
I kept
でも不
feeling
思
it.
議でさ、 結構辛いことばっかりじゃなくってさ。
I kept feeling I kept feeling ashamed of myself as I showered her with apologies. I couldn't count the number of times I was on the verge of tears. Yet she always responded with a smile and a pat on the back, and sometimes even her own
世
tears.
の中なんてこんなもんだよねって二人でため息ついてさ。けどなんだか笑えてきちゃってさ。おさむくんとならまた頑張ればいいやって思えちゃってさ。
That gave me the power to stand back on my feet after each failure. I would have been lying if I said I wasn't scared, but the courage she filled me with helped cure that element.
そのうちだんだん風が向いてくるようになってさ。おさむくんの人生も私の人生ももう一度スタートラインに立てそうになってきてさ。
We did our best. We eventually turned Toko's distant dream of continuing her studies into a realistic goal.
その間いろんな人たちが私たちに関わってきてさ。おさむくんの人生と私の人生が少しずつすれ違いそうになってもさ。
The paths of countless people crossed with ours, sometimes supplying us with trials and sometimes with bliss. They all served as catalysts for a whole variety of emotions, but
それでもおさむくんはいつでも私を第一に考えてくれて、どんなことがあっても優先してくれてさ。
amidst all those emotions, one had remained completely unchanged since the very beginning. One that declared Toko as the single most important girl in my life. Or perhaps that feeling did change a little with the long passage of time. Miss Landlord is the most important girl to me in the world. Midako is the most important girl to me in the world. Toko is the most important girl to me in the world.
ねえ、おさむくん。今のおさむくんはもう先生と別れた時の欠けたおさむくんなんかじゃない。
Asami once promised to teach me all about it. The happiness of being a family, having children, and working for someone else's sake. A future filled with joy. But Asami failed. There was nothing she could do about it, and instead kept the cause hidden and took on the role of a villain, eventually fading out of my life.
一生懸命私を育てて、娘としてずっと愛して、普通のちょっと小煩悩な親になったんだよ。
But after a year, my life saw the arrival of a tiny little angel who, despite her small frame, was mature beyond her years. She made her way straight to the core of my heart and taught me all the things Asami had wanted.
だからもうおさむくんと先生の間の障害なんかどこにもない。二人が別れる理由、きれいさっぱりなくなっちゃったんだよ。
The joys and hardships of raising another person, the boundless affection filling your heart as you see their life grow. The Samu that Asami wanted, a father who worked for his family and loved his children. Toko was the one who taught me all about that bliss.
だってさ、そんなの当たり前じゃんね。
Toko made me understand it all. Using her honest childlike love, she tried desperately to fix me.
こんな素敵なパパ、世界中探したってどこにもいるわけ
Don't
ないじゃん
call
よ。
him dad, Midako. You already made out with your dad. Isn't that a little weird? You can't just be calling him that. But it cost her gravely. She found herself tormented by the hardships of adult love. And now she's crying. I guess I have to pick Midako. It's the only way. ... Toko was crying before my eyes. Her shoulders trembled with each new sob, yet Toko did her best to keep her heart strong and resolute, like a true adult would. She's barely keeping it together though. Toko was crying. She didn't condemn me for taking over a month to answer her confession. The shock of learning the truth about Asami made me avert my eyes from Toko's efforts, but she hurled no words of condemnation at me. because she knew I'd keep on going in circles, unable to make a decision. Toko tried to give me a way out, a means to escape from the pain I very much deserved, all by herself.
一人で帰るね。
Toko turned her back to me. The sound of her feet crunching through the fresh snow reverberated across the nearly deserted station square.
明日からは去年までの私でいるから。ちょっとファザコンでママに焼き餅焼いたりもするけど、二人とも大好きな甘えん坊の娘でいるからさ。
Her words were barely audible, but due to the silence enveloping the station, I managed to make them out, just like my audio.
だからおさむくんも今までのおさむくんでいてね。私のこと嫌わないでね。避けたりしないでね。
Toko's shoes sank into the snow, constantly throwing her off balance and slowing her steps. Toko. Yet she still pressed forward, refusing to halt even for a moment. Toko, wait! If anything, it seemed like she actually quickened her pace each time I called out to her. Toko! With her shoulders still trembling, Toko darted off. Listen! Toko! As such, it was finally time for me to make a decision. Or rather, express my feeling in other words. What I already decided in a way she would understand. I love you, Toko! I love you! I love you! I love you more than anyone else! Oh man, I think I just woke up my roommate with that. Oh, fuck me. Are you okay, Toko? Toko fell. About 30 or so steps away from me. She slipped on ice and fell face first into a pile of snow. Are you hurt? Can you stand? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have shouted like that. You're not helping your case, Mitoko. Toko? Toko stopped me as I was about to hurry to her side, her scream audible even from under the snow.
今の一体何なの?
Yet she wouldn't rise to her feet. She froze up and looked at me with bewildered eyes, staying on all fours in the snow. Toko, 何なのよ今のは? What? With only her face turned to me, she let out an ear-splitting scream. I couldn't tell if it was a question, a confirmation, or just a plain howl of anger. Huh? By that, do you mean the part where I said I loved you more than anyone else in the world?
それよそれ。何言ってんのよ、サムくん。世界一。はい。
Toko was desperately trying to stand up. However, her knees were shaking like those of a newborn doe, making her repeatedly fall back down. That trembling wasn't the result of a wound she suffered during her fall or anything of the sort. I love you, Toko. I love you. I love you more than anyone else in the world. Thud. Just as she was about to get back on her feet, Toko's trembling knees gave out again, sending her down into the snow. Even when I was avoiding you, I kept thinking about you. I kept thinking about how much I wanted to see you. I could barely contain myself. Why do you think I skipped work to come here today? I love you, Toko. やだ。こんなのどうしてよ。 Toko, giving up on trying to stand, crouched down in the snow. I kneeled down in front of her.
おさむくん、一体何を言ってるの?
Those are my honest feelings.
なんてこと言い出すのよ。おさむくん、自分が何言ってんのか分かってんの?
That's, I mean, you said the same thing last month. The fact that I still let embarrassment get the better of me here was proof enough of my inexperience with this sort of thing.
私が言うのはいいんだよ。初恋とか思春期とか、優しくされて勘違いしちゃったとか、後でいくらでも言い訳が効くんだからさ。
Was it a misunderstanding?
今はそんなことをはっきりさせる必要はなくて。
Is it wrong for me to say this? Is it wrong for me to confess that I love you?
だってさ、おさむくんがそれ言ったらシャレにもなんないんだよ。時と場合によってはおさむくん破滅しちゃうよ。
Will it though? I've been a full-fledged member of society for the past 7 years. I've already seen my life fall apart more than once. I know what it means to be responsible for one's words and actions.
ダメだよそんなの。せっかく立ち直ったのにやり直せるのに。先生ともう一度幸せな人生が待ってるってのに。
I would rather find happiness. I would rather find happiness by your side. Is that wrong?
聞こえない聞いちゃいけない。嬉しいなんて勘違いしたらいけないんだってば。
Yeah, Mirako, you can't stop this man's love. Toko covered her ears with her snow-covered hands. Panicked, confused, and still shouting her lungs out, Toko closed her eyes and gritted her teeth. I love you. You're the only one for me, Toko.
聞こえないって言ってんじゃん。30にもなってそんな恥ずかしいこと言うな。
Yet her fingers made just enough cracks for even my softest whispers to reach her, to which she never failed to overreact.
おさむくんはもう大丈夫なんだよ。先生と元通りになれるんだよ。
Toko, just accept his love already. But you're the one I love. It has to be you.
なんだよ。私まだ学生だよ。本当の恋愛も何にも知らないお子ちゃまなんだよ。
In that case, I'll teach you everything you need to know.
この変態。そんなに私の体が欲しいの？
You can say whatever you want, but it won't change that I love you. That one did kinda hurt. Still, I couldn't back down now.
おかしいよおさむくん。そんなの大人の言うことじゃないよ。
How many times do I have to tell you that I haven't grown up at all? That I'm still helpless as I was before? I did expect her to try and deny this. Toko herself didn't mind falling, but was terrified by the idea of dragging me down with her. Once her ever-escalating feelings detonated, she would perhaps regret it deeply. But in the end, Toko would still rein in her emotions so as not to cause others trouble. I can't do anything without you by my side. Your courage, your care. Without them, I
おさむくん。
I can't think of a more energetic and positive girl. I'm hopeless without you to support me. If Toko froze her heart to conventionally act like a good girl for my sake alone, I would eventually fall apart. I wanted us to be on the same page, always connected. That's why I wanted to know about her true feelings, and I wanted to answer them with my own. She's gonna cry again. Toko's teeth began clattering. Not because of the cold, though, after all, her face had flushed a hue of deep crimson. I could almost feel its heat from here. The face told me that she didn't know what to do, that she couldn't understand why I was saying all this now, that I was a coward and late, and a fool. However, no matter how her expression changed, there was not a silver of hate in her gaze. She looked at me with the same eyes I was looking at her. My words shook her heart to its core. What was that, Mirako? Sorry for being a perverted creep. She was crying. Let's go home, Toko. I gave the still sobbing Toko my hand. You're gonna catch a cold if you keep this up. We should go home and have you warm up in HIMEOOO's bath. Toko's gaze was fixed on the snow below her. She simply sat there, motionless and unable to stand up.
ダメだよ。
This girl. She still refused to take in the truth. I should have known.
やっぱりダメだって。おさまくんと私じゃやばいって。
I'm more than aware of that.
先生どうするのよ。かわいそうじゃん。残酷じゃん。
I'll talk to her. Cruel or not, I'll tell her all about how I feel.
そんなのいいわけないじゃん。 誰も認めてくれないよ。
Yeah, I bet no one would.
全部なくしちゃうよ。友情も地位も名誉も全部だよ。
I won't lose you. If it means protecting what's most important to me, I don't mind being shunned by the world.
ダメだよ、ダメだよ。おさむくんが不幸になっちゃったら私嫌だよ。
As long as I have you by my side, I'm happy. Well, provided that you feel the same way about me, of course. So what's it gonna be, Mirako? Do you feel the same way? Oh, her sprites finally appeared. Toko slowly stood up. Her knees still trembled ever so slightly, and she had her teeth clenched as tears trailed down her
やっ
cheeks.
ぱりダメ。
Toko, just say yes already. You're prolonging it. You're dragging it. Come on. Yet the words she forced out of her throat were still seeped in self-constraint.
私はそんなひどいことできない。おさむくんや先生を巻き込んでまで自分の思いを遂げられるほど身勝手じゃない。
Despite having long since strayed from the right path, she still tried to talk like an honor student.
一人で帰ると言ったら一人で帰る。ついてこないでね。
I'll be waiting for you here.
今日はもう寝るから部屋にも来ないでね。
Toko turned her back to me once again. I know you'll come back here, back to my side.
そんなわけないじゃん。
Toko, just say yes, please. She took the first step towards her path home. I'll be waiting here until you do, at least until this day ends.
風邪ひいちゃうよ。そんなのダメだよ。
With the piled up snow still constantly throwing her off balance, Toko's steps were getting wider and wider. I'm not going to catch anything. I know you'll turn around in no time.
私しばらくはおさむくんの顔見れないよ。だから看病も先生呼ばないといけないよ。
You're the only one for me.
それじゃあね。
Is she already leaving? Toko, seemingly no longer hearing my voice, continued down the snow-covered road. She wouldn't turn around to look at me. She wouldn't stop, not even for a moment. Passing the 30-step mark where she last fell, Toko continued to walk further and further away from me. Oh, her sounds are going lighter. The sounds of crunchy snow grew fainter and fainter until I could no longer make it out anymore. Still, I kept my eyes focused on her back. What's it gonna be, Mirako? Just say yes, please.
さよな
Don't lie to Osamu, Mirako.
さよ
Uh-huh. Is she gonna run back? When the distance between us became roughly 100 steps, Toko's steps began slowing down. Before long, she came to a dead stop in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm.
あれ疲れちゃったかな。どうしたのねえ、どうしたの私の足。動かないよ。ねえ、ここから先、一歩も動いてくれないよ。
Clearly in a state of confusion, Toko seemed to be having a conversation with her legs. She hit her thighs a few times, pressing her palms against her knees, and tried stretching them a few times. Yet, she still failed to move even an inch from where she had stopped. It was as though an invincible wall was blocking her way.
嘘でしょ。
Any moment now.
嘘だよね。
Any moment.
こんなとこで動けなくなっても私困るんだけど、家に帰らないといけないんだけど、こんなとこにいたらおさむくんに追いつかれちゃう、見透かされちゃうよ、私の気持ち。
Mm-hmm. Toko wouldn't move. She was just standing there, looking at the dark sky, and then her shoulders trembled one more time. She's crying. Now she's screaming. My ears. Oh, the song started playing. The theme song. Toko? She finally moved. Toko! She took a right turn and dashed back with all she had. Oh no, that's gonna get louder, isn't it? Her previously unmoving feet now took one step after another, making her stumble in the snow, slowing her down even further. Did she fall? Don't panic, I'm right there. I'll always be by your side, Toko. Toko was running towards me. She came back to me. I'm not going anywhere. Just a little more. Just a little more. She accepted my confession. I love you, Toko. I'm sure I've already said it 100 times though. Oh, she's been counting? Why are you counting? Toko! Oh, look at that. Look at that CG. Isn't that beautiful? Toko! Toko! Toko jumped up into my arms with all her weight as I desperately held my ground, supporting that tiny frame of hers. It's okay. I can hear you. That's why I told you not to overthink it. Maybe not. I'm sorry for only ever thinking of myself. For being such a headstrong girl, you're quite the crybaby, Toko. I love you, Toko. Counting again. You don't need to count every single time. I love you, Toko. And now they're kissing. Her lips kept on counting, refusing to obey. I knew their taste would melt my mind in an instant. I drew closer to those tiny, wet, and soft lips of hers and covered them with my own. Toko. I'm sorry. I'm hearing the tongue action. Stop with the tongue action. You know I have to censor the audio. Oh my. The Samu, stop. Through my tongue, I could tell that she was on the verge of crying out. Meanwhile, her rolling tears moistened my cheeks. Toko. The tongue action still continues. Oh my. I embraced her with all my might, hoping to warm up that chilly skin of hers a little, the treasure I coveted the most in this entire world. Ta. Oh, what's this?
ちょっとあなた、そろそろ卒業生入場よ。
Whose mother
ビデオ
won?
用意しておきなさいよ。
分かってるって。でももう小学生でもないんだし、わざわざ卒業式まで取らなくても。
ダメよ。運動会だって文化祭だって修学旅行だって全部取ったんだから、卒業式だけ抜けちゃうわけにはいかないわよ。
修学旅行先について行ったのはやりすぎかと思ったけどな。
Osamu. I could hear the heartwarming conversation of the family behind me. I also switched seats and moved over to the side so I wouldn't block the view of that man's camera. Their daughter probably wouldn't be too thrilled to find out that the majority of the video was blocked out by some lumbering skyscraper of a man.
それにしてもお宅はいいわね。滝山学院ですって？ いいえ、そんな。ちょっとだけ運が良かっただけですよ。
うちの子なんてやっと生得ですよ。最後まで志望校決めるのも難航しちゃって。
うちだってそうでしたよ。本当は推薦入試受けたかったんですけれど、内申点が足りなくて。
何言ってるんですか。滝山ならいいじゃないですか。
I couldn't suppress my smile as I listened to the conversation of two nearby mothers. Indeed, Takayama Academy was a pretty good school as far as this district was concerned. However, it was nothing compared to Shusen Preparatory. I wonder what their faces would look like if I told them that my daughter actually got the scholarship with Shusen. Don't call her your daughter, man. No. That's the one thing I'm not gonna let you do, Osamu. Toko's angry face suddenly materialized in my mind's eye. What do you mean, your daughter? It appears you still don't quite understand your position, Osamu. She will likely drill the fine details of our relationship into my mind with a lecture at least a few hours long. More specifically, she'll be on her tiptoes while I'd be bending down, enduring the pain in my back. I suddenly stopped, realizing that I began to breathe heavily.
それでは時間となりましたので始めさせていただきます。
Come on with the principal. And so, it started. Every single spectator, a bit only temporarily, fell into a deep silence, observing today's main event with solemn gazes.
卒業生入場。
The doors of the gym opened and the students, Toko included, finally entered. Did the fact I started tearing up mean that I was hopelessly overprotective or just easily moved? But I felt I had the right to be like this. I mean, this was the culmination of our first year together. I prayed and prayed while Toko did her best. All kinds of things happened, but in the end, here we were at her graduation.
見つけた。ほら、あそこよ、純奈。
おお、よし、細くこっち向け、こっち。おい、呼びかけろよ、お前。
純奈ちゃん、ほら、こっち向いて。こっちだってば。
The other parents considered the antics of those two with cold looks and embarrassed smiles. However, I was overcome by a slightly different emotion.
いよいよですね。
He's here too?
人がこんなに。ちくしょう。みんなが俺を見て笑ってやがる。嫌だ。早く帰ってブログ炎上させたい。
Yoshinori's here too.
誰かこの人をネットのない工事現場に放り込んでくれ。どうせそれでも平気で生きてるから。
Buntaro.
頑張って
And HIMEOOO.
まだ出てきてないし頑張る必要もないし。
And Kaya. Everyone, could you please keep your voices down? You're disturbing the people around us.
トコちゃんだ。おーい、トコちゃん。
Where? I see. Okay, Toko. She's here.
あんたら二人だけ遠くにいてくれる？具体的には体育館どころか街から出てけ。
Today was Toko's special day. If things had been just a little different, the Terrace House Hinosaka gang would have been dominating these seats. And why aren't they here? Can you explain this, Osamu? Toko. Finally, the real class 3D entered the gym. This time, the students were lined up according to their student numbers, not their height. As a result, Toko was not at the very front, but somewhere around the middle and a little towards the back. Noticing me waving at her, she smiled and waved back. Miss Hasegawa, who was walking in front of the Toko, followed her gaze and spotted me, and she immediately shot me an understandably ice-cold look. I was hoping that they'll make up before graduation, but it would have been rubbing salt into the wound if the very man responsible for their raptured friendship had anything to say here. And so, in the end, they ended up graduating with a wide ravine still separating them. I felt bad about Miss Honda, too. who was dejectedly walking behind them. Still, I did not regret my choice.
開式の言葉。
The ceremony began after all the students had finished filling into the room, and the loud clamor of guests gave way to the quiet murmurs.
ただいまより第29回篠宮学園卒業式を行います。
Was this school as old as me?
卒業証書授与。
Since that fateful Valentine's Day, when I finally gave voice to my forbidden feelings and had Toko accept them with all her heart and soul, the terrace house Hinosaka, as well as the neighborhood around East Hagimori 3rd District, fell into complete silence. Mr. Retired resignedly shook his head. Miss Kumazaki gave me an accusing look. Yusanaga stopped looking me in the eyes. Miss Kaya seemed to have predicted this outcome to a certain extent, but she still stopped treating me the way she used to. I kept seeing HIMEOOO at work, but resuming her studies in April left her with little time for any conversation. But I was okay with it. I was prepared for it all. I chose Toko's warmth over the warmth of everyone else. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh well. I chose to protect my bond with her, even if it led to the collapse of every other relationship I had built up over the whole year. Yes, I was prepared for it. But Toko, she ended up banished from our community alongside myself, a bright and earnest girl who never did anything wrong. ...
続きまして3年 D 組
Pulled back to reality by a familiar voice, I directed my gaze towards the stage and saw her. A woman I met 10 years ago. We gave each other love, pain, and tears in equal measure, and ended up reunited just last year. I saw her company again, eventually learning of a deep wound she had kept hidden from me, yet in the end, all I did was thrust a knife into it. I don't know. Was this is this bad? Is this like a bad ending? I'm not sure. I mean, there's only one way to find out. It sure is. White, crystalline snowflakes filled the gray skies above as we left the hotel's cafe.
さてと、私の方は目的を達成したけど、これで解散ってわけにはあなたはいかないのよね。
I'm sorry. I prodded at the paper wrapping of the chocolate tucked in my pocket. Asami curly handed it to me in the hotel's lobby without any theatrics.
じゃあちょっと歩こうか。
Yeah. The 14th of February, 6 p.m., Thursday. Valentine's Day, a holiday for every confectionery company in the nation. An hour before my meeting with Toko, I had yet to confess my true feelings to Asami. ...
ああ、これは積もるかもね。
And now we're in a flashback now. Great. Yeah. The hill at the nearby park gave us a perfect view of the cityscape, getting gradually enveloped by the snow. There was no one here besides us at this cold and dark hour. This entire area was silent enough for us to hear our own footsteps and even breathing.
ねえ、おさむ。
Yeah?
あなたが話そうとしてることを当ててみせましょうか。
Sorry, but let me do the talking this time. Although, as for a guy who was unable to even broach the topic for over an hour, I guess I have no right to say that. It had been an hour since we met up at the cafe. I was the one who invited her, mentioning how I had something important to talk about. Yet here I was again.
あなたが話し出せない段階で何言いたいのか分かっちゃってるんだけどな。
I truly am sorry. Believing even this to you would be terrible of me.
そう
Not like I hadn't hit rock bottom already. The words I had prepared for her even were nothing short of a humiliating betrayal. I wonder if she'd grow angry, be taken aback, or burst out in tears. I wonder which of those she would be able to suppress. Asami, I have something to tell you,
いつでもどうぞ
but
いいわよこのままで
she leaned against the handrails, her gaze fixed on the snow-laden city. Very well. Refusing to look me in the eyes, she instead I can't even pronounce that word, admonished me with a voice low and gentle. Asami probably understood that if we had this conversation while looking each other in the eye, I would not have the courage to finish the sentence. I once again found myself indulging in her kindness. I'm in love with Toko. And now my betrayal had been laid bare. She's the most important girl to me in the entire world. An adult man, her guardian, had confessed feelings that modern society will never acknowledge. I never would have gotten back on my feet without her, and without me, she couldn't have stayed at the terrace house Hinosaka either. I, a man who mistook Asami's actions as her abandoning me, a man who failed to even see the pain of the woman closest to him, had confessed feelings that were deemed unforgivable. So, from now on, I'm planning to share a path with her until she herself decides that she no longer needs me. I kept wavering one cruel word after another, hurling them at Asami's back like spears meant to kill. Yet she remained completely still. Her shoulders didn't tremble in anger, nor did she writhe in sorrow or strike the railing with her fist.
それは保護者懇談会それとも別れた女への再起報告
Quite the contrary, she replied in a sarcastic tone, seemingly trying to make light of the situation.
前者なら認めるわけにはいかないわねそんなこと担任に相談しないでよもう卒業前に厄介事持ち込んできちゃって
Her shoulders finally began to tremble, but not in the way I had expected. She appeared to be suppressing laughter.
後者ならめでたくもありめでたくもなしかなおさむが新しい人と新しい人生を歩み始めるのは心の底から嬉しいでもなもうちょっと空いてなんとかならなかったのかな
She looked up at the sky, her white breath escaping through a wry smile. I knew it. She was still trying to be considerate of me. Right now, you're neither a homeroom teacher nor my ex-wife. You are your own woman, Koeno Asami.
そう
Even now, I question why I left this woman, and that fact made me feel terrible about myself. I've hurt you deeply, not once, but twice. I'm more than aware of that.
そんなことあったかな
The first time was when I remained blind to your pain and signed those divorce papers without even trying to talk it out.
だからそれはもうちゃんとこの前納得してくれたと思ってたのにな
I didn't.
もうあなたったら
How could I understand? I was the one at fault, yet she kept apologizing. She tried to make it seem like we were both responsible as a single married unit, but that didn't fit with our current situation. We were no longer husband and wife. We no longer had any responsibilities to look out for each other. I'll carry this with me for the rest of my life. I expect it to be a sin that will follow me to the grave.
そんなに思い悩んでばかりいたらハゲるわよまあ背が高いからバレにくいかもしれないけど
Asami was trying to crack a joke to make me feel better. Her kindness seeped into each one of her actions, and contrary to their intent, only stimulated my guilt. But I could not take the easy way out, not today. The second one is that I ended up running to you for support, even though we had already separated. I'm not sure if I made you confused, but I used your kindness in the worst way imaginable. I would embrace her to soothe my heart with her scent.
お役に立てて何よりでしたわ、旦那様。ま、本来の
Oh,
目
she
的
pulled
は
the
達成
deer,
できなかったけ
the
ど
deer trick. Asami. Unable to contain my feelings for Toko, I kept betraying her again and again.
私の大事な教え子に手を出すくらいなら私で我慢してもらおうかと思ったんだけど、教え子の方があんなに本気になっちゃったらね。
No, I chose her. I chose her despite everything I did to you.
男は辛いわよね。女の子の罪は背負わなくちゃならないからね。
So, Asami, if you can't forgive me, then I want you to say it. And now, I would commit yet another sin against Asami, who was still trying to be considerate. I won't embrace Toko until I have your permission. Despite claiming that I'll come to the decision by myself, I still force Asami to make that final push like the coward I was. Not as Miss Koeno, and not as Yoshimura, but as a woman I used to love. Tell me how you feel, as Koeno Asami. There were no people in the park. Snow was gradually piling up on Asami's back and head, and probably mine as well.
私はね、おさむ。
Before I knew it, the blizzard seemed to have grown worse. We could no longer see a city gently covered in white. The falling snow had begun to obstruct our field of vision.
実はね、あなたたち二人のことそんなに心配してないの。
As a result, I was no longer able to spot the slight changes in her mannerisms or tone of voice.
自分の思いを遂げた以上、もうあの子の軸はぶれない。きっといい子のままいい恋人になってくれる。おさむのこと救ってくれるって分かってる。
I think so too.
私は何年一緒に暮らしてもおさむの変色を直せなかった。けれどあの子はたったの2ヶ月でそれをやり遂げた。頑張りも工夫も愛情もあの子の方がずっと上だった。だからいつかいい恋人からいい奥さんになる。私ができなかったもう一つの目標もあっさり達成しちゃうんだろうって思う。
To do what Asami couldn't, teaching me about what family meant, the happiness of being a family, having children, and working for someone else's sake, a future filled with joy.
いいわよ、おさむ。その代わり卒業式が終わるまでは我慢してね。一応そこまでは監督責任というものもあるし。
Asami, I...
あなたが私のことを心配してるっていうのならそれは筋違い。
え？
私はいつか必ず幸せになるから。おさむの幸せのために自分を犠牲になんかしないから。
I know.
だからこの話はこれでおしまい。お互い絶対に幸せになりましょうね。
Oh, she's crying. Asami, you may scold me again for saying this, but I still want to do everything in my power to make you happy. If you find me useless in that regard, I won't do a thing. If my existence hinders your happiness, I'll make sure never to show myself in front of you again. But if there's anything I could do for you, anything at all, could we still remain close? Could I still be part of your life, provided it's not a bother?
それってあなたの恋人にものすごく嫉妬されないかな。
Toko will understand. If she doesn't, we'll have a fight. That's all.
いきなり恋人をないがしろにするつもり？そんなだから結婚に失敗したんじゃない？
Toko is the most important girl to me in the world, but I want to have you as my very best friend in the world.
聞きようによってはひどい言葉ね。
I know I'm being selfish. You're free to make your own choice, Asami.
考えとく。
Thanks. Do you think we should start heading back? The blizzard's getting worse.
私もう少しここにいるから。だからおさむ先に行って。
But
5分だけ雪に埋もれるこの街を 見ていたいか
Alright,
ら。さよなら、おさむ。
see you later.
さよなら。
Asami had her back turned to me from start to finish. I could no longer make out anything through the snow, but I still chose to leave her there and go on alone. Toko was waiting for me. The woman I needed to confess my feelings to had likely already arrived at the place we agreed upon. I glanced back at Asami one last time. Our eyes finally met. She appeared to have turned around and was watching me walk away.
おさむ、ねえ、おさむ。
Well,
日の坂見とこ。
alright. Well, unfortunately, everyone who's watching right now, I think it is a good stopping point for for today's video. Just because I'm not prepared to record for like 3 hours to wrap up the most forbidden love in the world, but I was not yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I was not expecting them to like just do that, like already start going out. Osamu's relationships already again like deteriorated with everyone and all that. I was not expecting all that. But yeah, look out for next week. I'll definitely have my mind prepared, my voice box all cleared up, a freshly cold water bottle next to me to wrap up the most forbidden love in the world next week. Or actually this week, since it's 1:13 a.m. already. Sorry. But if you liked today's video, don't forget to drop a like. If you have any comments or suggestions, comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to be on the lookout for the most forbidden love in the world video, the next Amagami video, and Rondo Leaflet video. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm having a hard time speaking. But as always, everyone, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.